Hello, this is SJ Talks in Life coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. I want to play this clip from the Angry Biracial Reacts channel. I want to play this clip, and when I play this clip, the young lady's making some very excellent points. After I play this clip, I'm gonna come back with my commentary.
Baby daddies call the mother of their children bitter, and don't nobody be telling them, well, you picked her. But we start calling out bitter baby daddies, and all we see is, well, you picked them. Baby daddies be outside having fun all the time without their kids. But a mama goes out one time in months, and all of a sudden it's, girl, where's your kids? Go home and be a mom. Baby daddies be out here procreating with more and more and more women and not taking care of the kids that they done already had, creating so many broken homes. And the baby mama is the one that stayed and is taking care of the children. And y'all bash at her for either putting him on child support or getting government assistance to help take care of a kid that she ain't make by herself. Baby daddies is out here moving from relationship to relationship. But let the mama get in a relationship and all of a sudden she not taking care of her kids. And she needs to focus on her kids. Why y'all don't be telling the daddy that?
Exactly.
Baby daddies is out here with multiple baby mamas and multiple kids and not taking care of none of them. But y'all ain't telling him to go get a vasectomy. Y'all telling the moms to get on birth control and to stop having kids if we can't take care of them. Why y'all not telling the daddies that? They the ones leaving. They the ones abandoning their responsibility once the mama says she don't want to be with them no more.
Yeah, I was looking at this video and I seen that and I said, boy, she nailed the head. She nailed it right on the head. I'm like, she nailed it right on the head. She nailed it right on the head. I said, I gotta talk about that. Yeah, it's a double standard. It is a huge double standard. You know, I've talked about how black or single mothers, particularly black single mothers, are consistently being bashed all the time. That single mothers are always bashed all the time. And she's making some excellent points in this clip. Why don't these men call these men out that lay up and have all these children by these multiple women? But they never say anything about these men. They always bashing the mothers. They're always bashing the mothers all the time. I'm still getting bashed for being a single mother. I'm still getting bashed for being a single mom. It's that double standard. Because it's just as wrong for men to have children outside of marriage than it is for women. I don't know why they think that the rules are different for them than it is for us. Because according to God, nobody should be having children outside of marriage. Nobody. It's not good for men and it ain't good for women. But it's like what she said. You know, why don't y'all tell that man that he need to lock it down? Why don't y'all tell that man he needs to lock it down? That's just like my youngest son's dad. Or shall I say sperm donor. Because he's not a I feel like I'm giving him too much credit calling him a daddy. Because he was never really in my son's life. He got over 10 kids by Lord knows how many baby mamas. But who's gonna tell him that he needs to stop knocking them off? But they're quick to tell us women we need to shut it down. Like she said, the same things that y'all telling us single mothers. You need to take birth control. You need to stop having kids. Well, they need to stop having kids. They need to stop having kids. They can't take care of. And then y'all want to make women, first of all, in most cases, the women are not even putting men on child support. The county is putting the men on the child support. It's like you blame the parent that stays. Make it make sense. You bash the parent that stayed. And then they had the nerve. I did a video years ago saying that us women, us single mothers, are raising the children. Why these men run around saying we don't take accountability? No, we're raising the children. If that's not accountability, I don't know what is. We're the ones that's raising the children and taking on the responsibility of the children. If that's not accountability, what is? Not having any accountability is trying to run from the problem. Trying to run from the situation. But they quick to say that about us. But we're the one raising the kids. We're the one taking care of them. Well, I think you're not a real man if you don't want to support your kids. A real man takes care of his kids. No matter how they came here, a real man mans up and does what he's supposed to do. A real man don't cry about paying child support. A real man just go ahead and pay it. A real man don't try to do things to get out of child support. A real man owns up to his responsibilities. Well, I got this woman in trouble. That's what they used to call it back in the olden days. And that's what I'm saying. In the olden days, they held the men accountable. Back in the olden days, because it was a huge stigma for women to have children outside of marriage. Back in the olden days. And if a man got a woman, they called it getting in trouble. You got her in trouble. What are you going to do about it? They asked that man, what are you going to do about it? You got her in trouble. Now, what are you going to do about it? And they encouraged that man to marry that woman. Take care of his responsibilities. I was reading Cicely Tyson's, I highly encourage you guys to read her book. It's very, very, her biography. She wrote her biography just before she passed away. Right after she was done writing it, she passed away. Cicely Tyson. And I read it. It was really a good read. And I don't want to give away too much of the book if you guys haven't read it, but there's a part in there where she says that Cicely Tyson had a daughter, and she was talking about how she got pregnant. She was dating this guy, and she got pregnant with her daughter. And now this was back in, was it the 40s? Yeah, this is back in the olden days. And she said she got pregnant, and so both families encouraged them to get married. And she really didn't love the guy, but she married him anyway. Because I don't know, I guess he loved her from the way she talks in the book. She wound up divorcing him because she really didn't love him. But he got her in trouble. He got her in trouble. That's what they called it back in those days. You got her in trouble. What are you going to do about it? You need to man up, marry her, and take care of your family. And that's what happened in those days when women got pregnant. They encouraged the men they held the men to a high standard. They held the men accountable. But somehow it was a turn, it was a shift where they stopped holding the men accountable, but bashing the women. Bashing the women. The one parent that took accountability and stayed to take on the responsibility of the child, she's the one that's being bashed. She's the one that's being looked at as a terrible person. And how is single mothers being looked at as terrible people when they're the ones that's, but like she said, they don't say nothing to these men. It's a huge double standard. And I think that's a major problem in our community, that they're not holding the men accountable. That's a major problem in our community. It needs to go back to, not saying that he should be pressured to marry, but just holding the man accountable. Say, hey, you got her pregnant, you need to man up and take care of your responsibilities. Instead of making 50 million excuses for the man and bashing the woman. She decided to have the baby and take on the responsibility of taking care of the baby, but she's the one that's steady being bashed. And he's running out, not paying child support and whatever. And she gets bashed for putting him on child support, which in most cases is not the woman putting the man on child support. It's DHS. Well, that's what it's called up here. But it's the county. It's the county that's putting the man on child support. It's not the woman. In most cases, it's not the woman. In most cases, it is not the woman, and it is the county. Because when that woman goes down to get any kind of assistance, they're gonna put that man on child support. And if you get mad or whatever, and you mad because you don't want to take care of your kids. I mean, what kind of man are you? What kind of man are you? You don't want to take responsibility for your seed. And try not laying down with women that you don't want to marry. If you don't want to marry the woman, why are you laying with her? And why are you laying with her unprotected? That's a question that comes in my mind. Why are you laying with a woman that you don't want to have no future with unprotected? But if people say, well, man gonna be a man, no. God holds men accountable. Why aren't we holding men accountable? God's holding them accountable. Because they're supposed to be the head. Men are supposed to be the head. Men are supposed to be our leaders. So isn't it the part of being a leader is leading by example? That's part of being a leader. Isn't that part of being a leader? So that ain't right. So I just thought this young lady was making some excellent points. But hit me up in that comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Do you think it's a huge double standard where the women, black women, are stuff consistently getting bashed for being single mothers? But I think she nailed it. She nailed it. And she, like, the parent with a mother that stayed and decided to take on the responsibility of the child is the one that's being bashed the most. While 50 million excuses get to be made for the man, and he gets let off the hook. What kind of values does that suggest in our community? You know, is the children, ultimately the children, that's going to be affected by all this? Because we got all these children growing up in fatherless homes, and it's very detrimental to our community, and the women are being blamed for that too. But a woman can't teach no boy how to be a man. As I've said it once, I've said it many times. A woman a woman needs help raising a son. Kids, period. It takes two parents to raise children. Two of them, not just one. Two. Some of you can't get that through your head. So when something bad happens in the black community, why are you pointing at the mothers? The first thing I'm going to say is, where was the father? That's usually the first thing I go to. Where was the father? Was the father in the home? Those are the questions. Was the father in this child's life? Those are the questions that I tend to go over in my head when I hear about things happening in the black community. Because 9 times out of 10, that whatever's going on in the black community, 9 times out of 10, those young people don't have stable father figures. 9 times out of 10, you know. So hit me up in that comment section. Let me know what your thought is. Do you think it's a double standard? All this bashing of single mothers needs to stop. I'm over it. Uh, give the fathers that same energy. Y'all need to give the fathers the same doggone energy, because at the end of the day, two wrongs don't make no right. Okay. See you guys in the next video. Be blessed.